Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today. Great to have you with me. Now today we're looking at the other person and we want to know what they have to say to you. What are their messages for you? What are their thoughts? What are their feelings? What are their intentions? What's going on between the two of you in terms of the situation, the dynamics that are actually playing out? How do you think and feel about them? Where's it all going? Now, before we get started, if you want to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon while you're there. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Now, before you on the screen, we've got 5 different cards to choose from. And the idea is to choose a card that resonates with you really clearly. Once you've made that choice, that will be your reading. It's perfectly fine to choose more than one card if it comes through really strongly for you. And just remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. Now, we've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5. So taking a moment to be with the cards, drawing in a nice deep breath, and as you release the breath, listening to your intuition, your inner voice, the energy of the cards. Which of these cards comes through for you the strongest? Is it card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, or card 5? Down below, there are 5 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you'd like to go to the one that you've chosen, I'll see you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 1. So here we are looking at what this person wants you to know today. So let's jump on in and have a look and see what's going on. I want to start here with Death and the King of Cups. And I felt this was a really lovely place to start because this is a very gentle and tender person by their true nature. But I do feel that they're very secretive. They hold a lot back. They don't tell you how it is that they really feel. They keep a lot to themselves in a way where I kind of feel like they harbor a lot of strong emotions about you, definitely. It's quite brooding, but it's very isolated. And straight off the bat, this person has, strong feelings for you. In many cases, this is love. This person loves you. And they're saying, I feel so much for you, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know whether I can say it. I don't know if I can face it to say it. It's like, it's so real to me in terms of the experience, but I just feel like everything's on the line if I do that. And in a way where I put myself at odds about my feeling because I push it back down, I pretend that I'm experiencing something else that I'm really not. How I really feel and what I'm really expressing to you, they're two completely different things. This person's a bit Jekyll and Hyde, I felt that they could run hot and cold, and I felt that they could show 2 very different sides of themselves. But at a central point, straight off the bat, this person feels so much feeling for you. I love you so deeply that it hurts. And you can see that with Death. It's like they feel like everything is right there on the brink, ready to be lost if they told you how they really feel. King of Cups, it's the highest cup in terms of evolution of feeling on, in the order of love. So whoever this person is to you, they certainly have watched you from afar and observed your way of being, your nature, the potential of where this is all going in terms of a connection. And they've waited behind the line and, studied you and taken you in a very deep way, very gentle, very tender. But again, they hold a lot back, very secretive by nature. I'm too frightened to face it. If I face it, I feel that maybe you won't feel the same way, or maybe I can't handle the way I really feel about you. Maybe I don't trust myself here, yeah? Maybe I don't trust myself to be able to uphold how it is I really feel with you in a way that could do this justice, to give you what is it you really want. I don't know if I trust myself. I don't know if I feel strong. I don't know if I feel strong enough to do this. And they are so gentle and so tender, and so there's something very poetic about this person. Something very poetic about this person, very romantic. But, I don't want to be that person. That person to me feels really weak. I don't feel like I'm strong enough to be that person, Very, very difficult start to the reading in so many ways. It's easy to pretend something else. It's easy to pretend that that's not how it is that I really feel. It's easy to push that down. And I want to come over here to the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups. It's like I think leading up to this point, this person's been avoiding the next step and avoiding you in some cases. It's like I don't want to take it to the next level. I don't want to face how it is that I really feel. There's an avoidance, an avoidance not only of you but also of deeper issues that are going on within them. Very Jekyll and Hyde, like sort of like one minute you're here and the next minute you're over there, and they can be all sort of full on, and you really feel like this is going somewhere, that it has a chance. Wheel of Fortune, it has a chance of hitting the mark, of going to the next level, and then all of a sudden it's just completely the opposite end of the spectrum. It just completely feels hopeless. They're always looking for a distraction, always looking for a distraction socially, maybe so they don't have to spend so much time with you. So that it's avoiding to be honest with you, maybe not wanting to have too much time alone for fear of having to fill the space with the truth, to be confronted with not only how they really feel about you, but how you really feel about them. It's like, I feel like they say, I'm not up to the task, I can't face this. I can't face how it is that I really feel. It's easy to run hot and run cold and to confuse you. One minute you're over here, the next minute you're over there, you're saying this and then you're saying that. It's Jekyll and Hyde. There's a lot of projection here as well, a lot of projection onto you about where it's going in a negative way. I kind of feel like this person is saying, expect disappointment. Don't expect so much out of me. Don't expect me to step up. Don't expect me to be more than who it is that I really am here, Expect, the lowest common denominator here, Expect me to disappoint you. I've disappointed people before, and I'm going to disappoint people again. There's a lot of suffering in these cards. There's a lot of coldness in here as well. There is warmth, there is love, there is tenderness, but there's a lot of covering up with coldness and confusion. There's a harshness here with death. Again, there's a mistrustfulness about the devil, and I felt that there was a neediness about this person's character. I feel that they are sort of, emotionally crippled, that they are weak at an emotional level, that they don't have the strength to stand on their own 2 feet in a way that allows them to flourish. And I feel perhaps that has a lot to do with their past, past relationships that have left them down, failed them to not, that other people haven't been there for them in a way where they feel supported, that they can trust. Very sensitive person. I get a lot of sensitivity here with the cups. King of Cups in particular. Highly intuitive, super sensitive. Actually, I would say, to what's going on. Always anticipating, always feeling, and they feel like they've caused you an enormous amount of pain. This person feels down here with with the Moon and the Ten of Cups. You know, and they're saying that I can see that I've made you unhappy, that I've caused you a lot of pain, that I've undermined your confidence about, you know, our future happiness. They know how it is that you really feel. And deep down, they've caused an enormous amount of uncertainty. They've eroded your trust. They've eroded your faith as to where this can go. And that they haven't been able to help themselves from doing that. In many ways, they're also saying, you know, like, I've wasted your time. But the part that causes them the most distress is that they feel that they've actually made you really unhappy. And this person is also saying, you know, like, I've made promises that I can't keep. Perhaps I've projected that we're going to be happy, that things can work, that we can settle down, that we can be together, and that it'll all come good. But there's just so much going on here in terms of complexity, you know, in myself, you know, my process, my past issues, my lack of confidence, my inability to stand up on my own 2 feet in my own strength, and to really be the person, yeah, that reflects how I really feel about you. You know, it's just easier for me to fail you, to be the disappointment. You know, I'm high risk, I'm high high maintenance, but I'm also high risk. And I'm very needy. I need a lot from you if I'm going to be with you, because when I'm with you, I need you to give me support. I need you to be there in a way that taps into a power dynamic that gives me strength. You can see that here with the vampire, which is more about its shadow attributes, really. You know, my survival is everything, because I kind of feel like I'm right at the edge here. I'm, you know, like I'm kind of falling off a cliff, that everything is at stake, that my needs come first. So it becomes really complex and one-sided, and I become very attached to you in a very negative way, because my survival means that I need to take all of your emotional energy to uphold myself. Yeah, so it becomes like a power dynamic. And in that sense, you know, it's very dark energy. You know, they're constantly drawing from you in a way that fuels them and which drains you, which gives them clarity and purpose and strength, but which undermines your clarity, purpose, and strength. It becomes one-sided. And you know, so they're constantly tuned into you and tuned into what you're doing in a way, really, where they're sapping you of you know, your vitality. And you're not tuning in at a loving frequency. It's a survival frequency. Very, very tricky stuff. If you come over here to seek the truth, I think for you, like, I think the Moon and the Ten of Cups and seek the truth, I think these reflect a lot about who it is that you are. I think you're very intuitive, very sensitive, and that they have caused you an enormous amount of pain, you know. And your intuitive sense knows that this isn't right, you know. This is tearing you apart, but they're also tearing themselves apart. And you've become very cautious about sharing in a way where you feel very vulnerable about letting them in, because you're quite wary that this has become, or had become, a very one-sided relationship. And I think your intuitive position is one where you are ready to be vulnerable with somebody, you know, to lay it all out on the table. You know, you want to be happy, you want to settle down. Perhaps for some of you, it's about having kids with this person. Maybe it's just about maybe for others, it's about just the dynamic of feeling a sense of belonging with this person. You feel a purpose with them, you know, like this person stirs something very deeply within you in terms of the Moon. You know, like it really strikes deep down in a way where you feel something really powerful in terms of it's like it's a moving process that goes very deep within you. You know, like it really stirs deeply within your soul. And you know that it's not something that you have control over, and you know that there's a lot of risk involved here, and that maybe this isn't going to be the one that's going to give you the happiness. But you can't change how it is that you feel, and you can't let go that easily. You're intertwined with them. You know, you've got the light side of the moon and you've got the dark side of the moon, and you know, you're all in with this process. You know, but you're going through something now that's really trying to get to the truth. And I think, you know, what's come up out of that is you've really become very self-aware in terms of understanding, you know, the limitations here. You know, your gut instincts say that this isn't really quite right. Yeah. And the moon's all about reflecting your instincts. Yeah, it's very charged because it's not straightforward. And if you come up here to the Devil and the Eight of Cups, it's like this person is finding it very easier just to walk away. It's just saying, look, I can't do this. I need to, you know, I need to have the upper hand. You know, I need to be the one that's in control. I need to be the one that has the last say, the final word. Every time I get close to anybody, and especially with you, I can't face it. I can't deal with it. I feel so vulnerable. I feel like you could walk all over me and that it would be the end of the world. It's easier for me just to walk away. I can't face my responsibility to actually make this relationship right. Emotionally, I don't have the courage to look at you and to tell you the truth about how it is that I really feel, about what it is that I really feel. And every time I get close to you, my feelings become so apparent. I know how I feel about you, but I can't face it. I just can't face it. I feel like I have everything to lose. And you can see that here with the Devil and death. You know, like it's that sense of, you know, I need to trick you to avoid facing death, to avoid facing the feeling that I am just so vulnerable, that I'm so in love with you, that I feel so much for you, that I have everything to lose. I can't let go. I can't let go. The only way to let go is to let go of you and to leave you and to walk away. It's quite powerful. And ultimately, it's very destructive. It's very destructive. I'm emotionally aware of my shortfallings. I know that this is not the first time that I've actually torn people apart. And I can't help myself. It's a repeating problem and I never really learn from it because it's easier for me just to walk away. I'm caught on this cycle of repeat, yeah? It's the only way I know how to empower myself. It's the only way I know how to take back control. If you come down here to Page of Swords, there's a lot in this card in terms of what it says about the central nature of this person. They are very self-aware, in terms of their process. On one hand, yeah. On the other hand, they also push things down, and I think this is the difficulty. Is one part of them, is self-aware. The other part of them, goes into a denial about what they're doing in order to survive within the relationship or the connection. But this person's kind of been brought to the brink of where things are at, and they know that if they stay, that they're just going to fall in on themselves, really, because they don't have the skill set, the confidence to be able to survive this in a way that evolves through, pushes past these limitations. And that is very much about what the Page of Swords is saying. It's a total lack of confidence. I can't see the success in this. I can't see straight. You know, my inner child feels helpless. Like there's a helplessness here. I can't do this now. You know, I'm my own worst enemy. You know, I can't give you what you need. I can't give you what it takes to make this into a success. I can't do this now. I need to walk away. You know, there's just so much in the way in my head, you know, in my mind. It's just kind of like I'm constantly negatively looking at what's going on. I can't see anything constructive here that gives me a grab on being able to move forward in some light way, you know, successful way. Everything becomes very dark. Everything becomes very heavy, very negative. I become very needy as a person. All I can see is problems here. You know, I can't see any constructive way forward. All I know is my past behaviors. My past behaviors are to use people in some way, you know, to get what it is that I want, to empower myself. And then when I'm feeling like I'm on top of things again, you know, I leave out, I get out, I leave on a high. It's easy for me to walk away when I'm feeling in my power. When I'm feeling vulnerable and low, my nature is to draw on you, to take from you, and to sabotage what it is that we have, to use that energy to make myself feel better, stronger. And a lot of this relates back to the past. The swords are all about the past. You know, you go back to the past. In the past over here, you can see past relationships. They've always been let down. You know, nobody's really been there for them. They've always had a sense of uncertainty in terms of, you know, finding happiness in relationships, maybe happiness within their own family. I think they've had a lot of negative role models, a lot of negative impressions perhaps about what it means to belong to somebody, to belong to a group of people, belong to a family, to belong to a group of friends, or to belong to maybe a community. It's a sense of isolation, of doing it alone, of having to survive. But the one thing that's really clear here in terms of what they want you to know is that they love you. And that's unwavering. How they actually really feel about you deep down is unwavering. You know? And if it ever came to that, deep down that person is always there for you. The difficulty of what this is all about in terms of a dynamic is that they just don't have the skills to be able to survive the connection in a constructive way. They need to relearn that behavior. But they're saying that I feel too weak to do that right now. Listen, I hope this reading has made some sense to you. And if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading and we are looking at what the other person wants you to know today. So what is it that's really deep down in there? What do they want to express to you? Drawn up here to Temperance and the 8 of Cups. And as a start point, or straight off the bat really, I feel like this person has either walked out on you or walked away from a situation that they just, they kind of weighed it up in their mind and felt that they're just better off leaving it, leaving you, leaving it, moving on. I kind of feel like they're saying, I'm better off without you. Maybe that's reactive. Maybe that's just a little bit emotional. It's like, I'm not bound to this situation. I'm not bound to you. I feel like I've weighed it up and I'm out of here. It's the end of the road for me. It's very emotional. It's kind of almost like spitting the dummy out of the pram. It's like, I've got nothing left to give to this. I'm better off without this. I'm better off without you. I'm going to go and do it my own way. I'm going to go do my own thing. I've got nothing else to give to this situation. It's phase out. And I think the thing that's difficult about that is that you can see here with Temperance, you know, they've really deliberated on it, but they've not been able to find any resolution other than to kind of emotionally react to the situation. It's like, you know, you can see that with the Eight of Cups. It's like, okay, so yeah, I'm invested in this situation, but at the end of the day, I'm going to put my own needs first. This is about me and what it is that I need, and I'm going to move on and move on up, you know. I've got nothing else left to give here. And that doesn't sort of give you, it doesn't give you anything to work with because they've taken the upper hand. They've made it all about them in many ways. It's the end of the road. It's the final word. If you come over here to the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles, he's a very big personality. You know, this is somebody who has a lot to say at the best of times. I kind of feel like, you know, they walk into a room and they fill it up. It's, you know, very much all about them. It's kind of like, you know, everybody's looking at them, but they're making it all about them. So of course everybody's looking at them. This is a person who really can't, at the best of times, see beyond their own needs. You know, they fill up time and space with themselves, about themselves. It's about them and it's about their stuff, you know. So, and that can be really amazing. Like, so it can be really entertaining. It's like, here I am. I've got a lot to give. You know, like it's sort of like, you know, I'm bringing it. You know, like I'm making the party happen here, right now. It's very entertaining. It's very stimulating for a lot of people. I think in some ways it can be even quite enchanting. You know, it takes away a lot of uncertainty for people because this person has a show of confidence. You know, they're very solid within themselves. It's very present. It's very tangible. It takes the pressure off of you because it makes it all about them. And in many ways, you know, you can see here with the High Priestess, you know, like this person actually feels quite uncertain about what the future represents. It makes them feel very insecure, and so in a lot of ways they compensate by making it all about their ego. You know, there's a strong ego here. You can see that with the King of Pentacles. You know, it's a big personality. This person's got a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they are very brash, quite ballsy. You know, they've got guts to do certain things that other people wouldn't do. I mean, it's really, you know, but it can be over the top. So this person does take risks, and often they'll pay out. You know, they fall on their feet, because at the end of the day, you know, they just do things that people would not normally do. So I think maybe a little bit unpredictable like that. Because nobody will question it, you know, like, you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's so big, it's so brazen, it's so ballsy. It's like, why would you question it? It's the confidence. It just sees them through each and every time. But they are very material. You know, there's an insecurity there. It's like, I need to kind of be material. I need to have things to show for my existence. You know, maybe that's the way they look, or the way they dress, the car that they drive, the house that they live in, the way they spend their money. I think they throw away. It's like, you know, I get a feeling this could be a person who throws cash around a lot. You know, like it sort of buys everybody a round of drinks and, you know, lays it on thick. You know, let's have a good time. It's all on me. You know, it kind of sort of steps them up. You know, people respect it. You know, people look to it in a way that sort of says, "Oh wow, you know, this." It's about validation. I need to be validated through my existence, the way that I look, the way that I act. I need people to see that I have worth. Yeah. And quite often being loud and over the top, that helps me to kind of get that message across. But this person's also saying, I don't know. And you can see that here with Temperance and the Eight of Cups. He's like, I don't know how to confront my feelings with you. you know? And back over here to the High Priest as in King of Pentacles. My need for validation is everything. It's all about me. I need it to be all about me. I need to come first. I'm very needy. I don't know how to tell you it is that I really feel, because my feelings are wrapped up in my self-existence, in my material world, in my personality. I come first. Because to look at how it is that I really feel, it makes me feel really uncertain. You know, this is not territory that I'm familiar with. I'll tell you a reason why I think maybe that could be. If you come down here to Messiah, it's very much the shadow attribute that reflects on this person. Because it's, you know, the Messiah is somebody everybody looks up to. And I feel perhaps this person has been doted on all of their life. It could be like a real mum's child, you know, like a mummy's child. But it's not just that. Maybe their family and maybe their community or their social network has just really pandered to them in a way where they've made it all about this person, because this person has grown up from a very early age, I feel, or conditioned in some way, if it's not that, to really believe that it is all about them. And that belief is the thing that really anchors their existence. It's like, you know, they've been put on a pedestal in some ways. And that the belief in other people in them is what really does keep them alive. Because if they were to fall off that pedestal, you know, well, it's a long way down from the top. That's how I would actually phrase that. So it serves them to continually keep themselves propped up in a way that reinforces what other people have told them about themselves. They just don't see any fault. They can't see they've ever done anything wrong. You know, like it's all about me, and I always do great things, and I've always been told that I am the Messiah. You know, and it's really tricky because it's a tall order, and I think really very, very deep down they know that they're not really perfect. But the way they compensate that is just to tell themselves that they are. You know, like it's a catch-22. So it's really difficult, because if you come over here to the Ten of Wands, you know, at the same time, there's some really positive stuff about this person. You know, like, you know, they're going to have this tenacity. You know, a really bullish nature. They take it all on, and they actually provide an enormous amount of support. You know, and I think for you, they've always kind of been there for you in many ways. You know, there's a lot of strength in this person. You can see that with the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. You know, like they bunker down and they make things happen by just really going for 100%. They fully believe in what they can achieve. They don't question it. They get things done. They are actually really successful as a result of that. You know, but, you know, they get a bit caught up in it in a way where they can't see the wood for the trees at the same time. So whatever it is that's happened here with you, it's kind of like selective viewing. It's selective in terms of its perspective. Because, you know, it has to serve what keeps them upright. And what keeps them upright is to almost be perfect in some ways. So if I come down here to Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Pentacles, I think, you know, like with you as a person, I think you know, like I think you've always really helped to tone down this person's over-the-top nature. And that they actually need you in many ways because you underpin their existence in a way where you draw it back into humility. You know, I think you keep it real with them in a non-confronting way. You know, I think that you understand who this person is at a core level, and that you ground them, and that you actually nurture them in a way that doesn't affect or bruise their ego. This person's very slow to come around. You know, like it's sort of, you know, if you were to confront this person about what's going on, you're just gonna get a reaction, you know, at an emotional level. And so I kind of felt that you have to be very patient with this person. And I think the reason why you understand this person is because you're cast from the same die. There's a lot of similarities. I think that you're much more nurturing, and much more ground. I think humility sits a little bit more centrally with you. I think you are very patient as a person. But this person at this point in time is kind of in a state of reaction. It's like, I need to go and have some time on my own and do my own thing and get some space from this. And I don't want to talk to you. And at the end of the day, I need it to be all about me. I'm done with this situation. I've got nothing else left to give to it right now. I've got nothing left to give to it right now. But at the same time, when I look at these cards, I don't feel that this is so serious that it's sort of like a be all and end all scenario. I don't feel that this is like, falling off a cliff and, free falling into an abyss. It's not like that with this person. You've got to pick your moment with them. So coming over here to the Hangman and the Seven of Pentacles, this person is I think in terms of an outcome, it's like, I need reflective process. I need to dig deep, to figure things out. And they are very slow to come around, but you can see here, it's like there is contemplation of the facts, contemplation of what's going on. They are going to realize that there is a total lack of balance here, that they have made it all about themselves and that they forgot to make it about you. And they've also forgot to make it about us. It's like, yeah, I know. Okay, I get it. I get it. I need to make a sacrifice. I need to give more, because I don't give enough if I give it all. I get that it's all about me. I get that I don't make sacrifices so that things are a little bit more balanced and free flowing. The argument is so one-sided, and I forget. I get so caught up in myself, and what I like about that is they're showing reflective process in a way where they're actually digging very deep, and they have a grasp as to the fundamental meaning of what the connection is between the two of you. And you can see here with Temperance, there is that spiritual tie. So whether this is a friendship or a relationship or the beginnings of some sort of connection with somebody, there is a tie here. And the Pentacles, and there is a lot of Pentacles in this reading. The Pentacles are very methodical. They're patiently balanced in a way where, even though they might not have a full grasp of it at the beginning, they have due process that arrives them at very sure outcomes that are quite honest, really. And I feel here, with the Hangman, that this is, it's a card that realizes, it's like, I need to give more. I need to address the balance here, the lack of balance here. I can see where I've gone wrong, So I feel that this will be restored. And down here with the Six of Pentacles, it's about learning to give, the balance and addressing it by doing it. So, what's tricky is that this person is going to, by default, always make it about them. But when they apologize and when they actually acknowledge where they've gone wrong, it's sincere. They're not paying lip service. Their ego covers up an enormous amount, because at the end of the day, that's what they're really good at being. They're comfortable at being the big personality, the key player. I want to look after you. I want to look after everybody. I want to be there in a way that makes everybody else feel secure and sure. I would never give up on you in a way where I truly walked out on you and forgot what this was all about. Because I am full of substance. And at the end of the day, I'll put my money where my mouth is. Yes, I need to be kinder. Yes, I need to be gentler. I'm saying I'm sorry. And I might not say that in a way that gives you exactly what it is that you want to hear. but I'll say it in a way that's my way. And when you hear it, you'll understand that I really mean it. So I feel that this is not a lost cause and that this person has a lot more to say, but they just need to get away from what's going on at the moment and to go through a process that gets to the point of realizing where they've gone wrong. Yeah. So I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading and we are looking at what the other person wants you to know today. So what is the message? What's the communication coming through the cards today? Now, okay, so I'm brought up here to Justice and the King of Swords, and I felt that this person was being a bit unpleasant to deal with, is putting it lightly. This is somebody who is very insecure. And I felt that they really felt that they had a lot to lose here. It's taking a very defensive position, and they're on the offensive. Actually, it's like, you know, they're sort of almost perpetuating some kind of narrative or action against you, and it's like they've turned their back on you, and maybe they've turned their back on other people as well. But it's this kind of like, you know, I'm very central to this position, and I have everything to lose, and I'm going to make sure that I win. I'm playing for keeps. Watch out! Don't mess with me, because you'll be sorry. Cross me, and I'll take you to the cleaners. It's kind of like, it's very desperate kind of thinking. And I'm not going to be accountable if I do anything really drastic either. Yeah. I'm playing for keeps and I'm playing to win. It's like, you know, they're really trying to instill a sense of fear here. You know, intimidation tactics is what I felt this was about. I felt that they had a very closed position. It's like this person has something to hide. There's something deep down there that they're not telling you about. Yeah, they're not telling the full truth. It's very selective, one-sided argument that is based on technicality. You can see that with Justice and the King of Swords. It's about finding a sense of balance as to what's going on based on this person's perspective only. Yeah. And I kind of feel like this person's saying the law is on my side. You know, technically I'm in the right. I didn't feel like you could trust this person. I didn't feel like this person was, they're certainly not selling themselves in a very, you know, touchy-feely way. This is aggressive. This is intimidating. This is desperate. It's very one-sided, and it's ugly, actually, and very cold. Yeah, they're not thinking, you know, like when I try and tap sort of deeper into the feelings, that they divorce themselves from any feeling about what's going on here. You know, it's survival. Like, I need to survive this. I need to survive this situation. I could lose everything. It's that feeling like if I don't win this, you know, I'm going to be written off. It'll be the end of me. I feel cornered. And I don't see any other way out other than just to go on the offensive, to attack you. To smear your reputation, maybe, to make you look bad so that I look better. I have to come out on top. It's all about me. And I have everything to lose. If I come down here to the Hierophant and the 9 of Cups, and also the 8 of Cups, you know, like I kind of feel like maybe in the lead up to this, but certainly right now, it's like, you know, you've lost faith in this person. Like the truth hasn't stacked up for quite a long time. I feel like you've just seen straight through them. It's like whatever it is that's going on here, it's like you've just clocked it, figured it out. It all starts making sense in a way where everything kind of adds up or doesn't add up, as the case may be. And like your heart's just not in it, like it's not in it anymore. It's like, nah, I'm done with this. It's over. Whatever that is, yeah. I think you've said whatever it is that you've needed to say in a way that is more about sort of paying lip service. Just to keep the peace. It's like you're just, you know, you're holding your position in a way where you're trying not to be confrontational. You're trying not to say anything that might antagonize this other person. You're just doing everything that you can to just get it over the line, basically. It's a waiting game. And you just want it to be over. It's like, oh God, I need this to be over. It's like, it's quite inane and mundane. It's like, oh God, why do we have to, because you've got because you have a lot of heart. You've got a lot of, like, you're just not like that as a person. You're not extreme like that. You know, you're quite sensible and emotionally balanced in a way where it's like, you're kind of thinking, what's this all about? Why so extreme? Like, seriously, nothing could be that bad that you would actually be like this to me and to other people, you know? And so, you know, you've kind of punched out, really. It's like you're here in body, but not in spirit, because in your mind or in your heart, it's just like, nah, this is, I'm done with this. You're just trying to keep things really simple. Try not to antagonize. Looking for your own way out of the situation in a way where you can kind of maybe almost just like slip out the back door in some ways. But it's hard for you to understand wholly why this person is being so cold and calculated and harsh. You know, what have I ever done to actually deserve this? And when you go back to the Magician and the Knight of Swords in the past, you know, like it's always been like this in some form. You know, this person has always been quite antagonistic. I think they put the right foot forward on one level of trying to sort of seize the moment and to get the best out of the situation, where they're kind of like, you know, all empowered and positive and all about light, you know. It's sort of, you know, it's kind of, but at the same time, underneath that, it's antagonistic. It's like this person has an agenda and they're wiggling around to get what it is that they want in a way that is intimidating and relentless. You know, the Knight of Swords, it's kind of like, it just doesn't stop, you know, like it's just, you're so motivated to kind of, you know, make things happen in a way that is very slippery, very tricky. There's lots of loopholes and weirdness to have to kind of like contend with, really. And I think that, you know, like maybe this person could be a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. You know, they're sort of like, yeah, like let's do it. Let's get it on. You know, let's get it happening. You know, the Magician. Let's strike it into action. Let's make it happen. You know, let's just, you know, put it all on the table and just be really honest about how we're gonna figure all of this out. And the next minute, it's just like straight in there. It's like, oh, you know, like, yeah, but maybe if we did it like this, and maybe if we did it like that, and, you know, all of a sudden you can't realize it's actually about this person's agenda. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. It's all about what they want. They won't let up until they've actually got it. So really, they're just being very opportunistic. That's what I get. I've just been very opportunistic. And this person is trying really hard, in a way, to be the person that they think that is that you want them to be. At the same time, I need to be all over this. I need to figure this out. I'm the one that needs to be in control of this, because I can see the greatest potential in how this can all kind of, you know, unfold. I'm going to wear you down. I'm not going to let up until I get what it is that I want, because I know best. I'm the one who knows how things work. I'm the one who knows how to take control. I'm the one that knows, where this is all going. And, it kind of just wears you down. And in the end, you kind of just sort of pull back, say, oh my gosh, this is just like, this is doing my head in a bit. It takes the fun out of the situation. You can see that down here with the Knight of Cups. It just takes the fun out of it. It becomes very transactional with the Hierophant. It's just like, oh, okay. All right, whatever you want. It's all about you. Whatever you want. And so slowly over time, you just lose your faith, lose the will to live somewhat in some ways. I mean, I don't mean to laugh about it, but it's like, because it grinds you down. And this person is just very insecure. It's like, I need to be in control. I need to be the one. I felt in some ways that, this person, if you look down here with teacher, it's very much the shadow attribute, and manipulating and abusing students. I mean, this is, keep it very broad. But I do feel that this person is in a powerful position. Like Justice, King of Swords, these are very high-ranking cards, authoritative cards. I feel this person, should be setting an example of how things are done, but they're actually exploiting their position to do something that's quite premeditated and manipulative and abusive. This person can be really abusive. They can really let off steam in a way that just kind of intimidates you, wears you down, makes you feel a little bit frightened even. I think there's times you feel a bit unsafe with this person. And they can't help themselves because once they get a taste of that power, it's like, I want more, I want more, I want more. I'm the one who knows best. I'm the one who knows how things should work. I'm the one that should see this through. I'm in control. I have it all in hand. And that reflects the teacher card in a way where it's sort of like, I'm here to show you how this is all done. But then with the King of Swords, it gets really desperate. It's sort of like it's the survival of the fittest. It becomes very sort of purely sort of, theoretical, very academic headspace. That they know better and they can't help themselves, if that makes sense. And you can come down here with the Seven of Swords. I do feel that this person, in some ways, they just can't let it go. They just, I can't for one moment let you out of my sight, because if I let you out of my sight, I just don't trust what's going on. So I need to keep you under my thumb and make sure that everything's actually going the way that I want it to go. So although I'm saying this is how you should do it, I want you to do it my way. And if you're not doing it my way, I'm going to watch over your shoulder until I'm sure that, it's been done the way that I want it to be done. And I know it's not me. I know it's not. The thing is, I know it's not you deep down that can't be trusted. I know that it's me. But I can't let it go. I can't let this behavior go. I'm still carrying my own baggage. I'm still doing things in a way that, just show a lack of resolve. Like I can't figure this out. I can't figure out how I'm supposed to do this, really. I know how I'm supposed to do it in my head. I know that hurts everybody. I know that I'm being callous. I know that I'm being calculated. I know that I'm being intimidating. But I can't stop being like that because I don't trust you. And I don't want to let go. I need the power. I need the power to keep on going. It's the only way I know how to survive. I don't trust my feelings. I don't trust you. I don't trust anybody. I think the unfortunate part about this, if you look here with the Hangman and the Six of Swords, it's this person's unable to make the sacrifice that is needed independently so that things move forward in a way that start to resolve. But at the same time, I do feel that there is hope here because this person's saying, I need help. I can't figure it out on my own. I've tried and tried and tried, but it keeps on happening. I need someone else to take control. I need someone else to force change. And I think the only way around that is actually, maybe some kind of third party interference or some sort of third party mediation. You see that here with the Six of Swords, like another person coming on board in a way that steers this into calmer waters. You know, the Hangman. You know, it's sort of going into a deeper observation of what the problems are and how they need to be rectified. Because if you leave this person to their own devices, you know, they're just going to run amok. They're going to continue to do the same thing they've always done, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's just it's backwards and going forwards, and their behavior is unchecked, and it needs to be pulled into line in a way that they become accountable. This person needs to be made responsible. This person needs to adhere to the law. This person needs to wake up to themselves in a way where they adhere to some sort of, you know, like self-discipline. And, you know, the only way to get that outcome is to sort of include a third party to mediate this process. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, or what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading, and today we're looking at what the other person wants you to know. So let's tap into the cards and have a look and see what's going on. Let's start over here with the Sun and the Ace of Cups. This is looking to the past. You know, I feel really positive about all of this. It's very innocent and engaged in a way that's, you know, putting your best foot forward, really. I feel like this person's made a really good effort to get your attention in a way that is light-hearted, very very good person vibes, good guy, good girl, good person vibes. It's kind of, you know, like it's just really putting it out there in a way that says, hey, I like you, you know, I like what I see. You make me feel really good, you know, and I want a piece of that. I want to get to know who you are in a way that says, what's the potential here? Where is this seated, you know, like, you know, but it's light, you know, there's nothing heavy about it. It's just very introductory. You know, the Sun, really high vibrational card in terms of positive energy, coupled with the Ace of Cups, emotional intent, very positively defined in a way that says, I see some potential here. Hi, how are you? So it's introductory, it's positive, it's putting the best foot forward, hoping for something, you know, good out of it in terms of where it might go. Yeah. We come over here to Judgment and the Six of Cups. You know, like the pressure, the gravity, the seriousness of what's going on has kind of stepped up a few notches. It's like, where's this going? What's it all about? You know, who are you really? This person's kind of like, you know, really starting to sound you out in a way that says, you know, look, I really like what I see, but I want to know more about who it is that you are as a person. What makes you tick? What do you like? What don't you like? Again, I like what I see, but is there anything that I need to know here that, you know, may cause some complexity? I do feel that this person is saying, you know, like, you know, can I trust you? You know, how honest are you? What are you really like as a person? Not to sort of say that there's any negative projection going on there, but I kind of feel that this represents a very social situation. You know, it's amongst people, watching what you're like when you're out and about, maybe with other people like friends and family and colleagues, you know, how you are with them versus what you might be like with this person. Maybe they have some more questions, you know, about who it is that you are. Maybe they want to get to know you a little bit better, you know, take this a little bit more seriously and to step up the intensity so that they can begin to qualify who it is that you really are as a person and what is it you really want in terms of the connection that you actually have with this person. So you know, it started out really positive, light-hearted, a sense of potential, a lot of fun. you know, now it's kind of, next level. It's like, what have we got really to work with here? Where's this really going? What can we establish? Who are you really in terms of your personality? And is there anything that I kind of need to look out for here? So I would say the reason why this person is thinking this, feeling this, is because you've come down here to the Fool and the Ten of Wands. And I just get a sense with you that you're kind of playing it very cool. Water off of a duck's back. It's like, like, I like you. I see a sense of potential here, but I'm not committing to anything. This is all about the Fool. I'm not going to take it on too seriously. I'm doing my own thing. I have boundaries. And at the end of the day, I don't know if I really want to take on too much hard work. You see that here with the Ten of Pentacles. Like it's kind of like you got the hand out a little bit here, sort of. Like it's like, don't put too much pressure on me. Don't bring me down. I've got my own thing going on here in a way that I'm quite happy just being me. But at the same time, if you can get over these hurdles, if you can actually jump over this fence of complexity that I'm kind of, like weaving around me, maybe I'll listen some more. And I feel like this person's really chasing you. Yeah. Knight of Swords. It's like, I want to know more. I've got lots of questions to ask. There are questions that I want to get answers to, and where are you with all of this? Are you with me? Are you against me? What have I got to work with here? Trying to get your attention, really sort of, really playing it very hard, pursuing you in I would have said in quite an intensive way, I think it's starting to wear them down though. You can see that. I think they're starting to get a bit frustrated by this process because you are proving to be quite resilient. Your energy is maybe a little bit too cool. Maybe some of the complexity here in terms of what you're expecting them to sort of jump over in terms of the fence or through the hoops is just a little bit, maybe it's a little bit too much. Maybe that's proving to be a bit too much of a hard game for them to kind of follow through with, because they're becoming a bit more resistant to it. I think the frustration is starting to flare, but it's like, well, hang on a second, does it really have to be so much hard work? I just want to get to know you. I just kind of want to take it a little bit more serious and, really dig a little bit deeper in terms of your personality, what makes you tick. You can trust me. I'm not going to do anything to sort of, to upset you or to deceive you. I kind of just want to be a little bit romantic. You can see that here with the Six of Cups. I just want to kind of just have a nice time, but it's about you and me. Maybe I want to cut other people out of the picture, this social fabric, this social complexity, it puts me under a lot of pressure. I don't know if I perform so well when I'm around other people. So maybe if you're out having drinks with friends or in a social setting where, there are other people around, I don't know if this person feels so comfortable. I've got a lot of sensitivity here, very sensitive individual. You can see that with the Ace of Cups, Six of Cups, quite an emotional person. Down here to Mother, very light-hearted in terms of the light attribute is very, very important here. I kind of feel that this person is very much in the nurturing ground of wanting maybe a relationship with somebody. They just kind of want to tap into that joy of emotional connection, unconditional love. They're really ready for something to birth. That could actually be next level for some of you. This person might be wanting to sort of meet somebody to settle down and have kids. Kids are very strong in these cards. You've got the Six of Cups. You've got the Sun. Ace of Cups is a card of pregnancy and birth. You've got Mother. For some of you, this person might be ready to kind of, have a relationship and to settle down and, talk about having kids. It could be that. On a lighter hearted kind of note, maybe that's not for everybody, but this is definitely somebody who is really prepared to put in some loving energy that really is very much about nurturing the situation, being there in an unconditional way that really is very reliable, and I think they feel very comfortable in themselves at an emotional level. I like this person. And this person can be quite serious as well. You can see that here with the Judgment. They have a backbone. There's integrity there. This person's accountable. Over here is a King of Wands. You can definitely see that. This is a person who owns responsibility. They're accountable. They work very, very hard to get outcomes that that succeeds, really. But here we are here with the Magician and the Ace of Swords. Now, I feel this is where things are going. And it's getting a little bit colder, okay? And I think that's on account of where you're at and how you're playing it. I feel that this person is sort of moving into, a frame of mind that feels that they can't cut through into the heart of what's going on with you. Yeah? They're putting it all on the table, the Magician here, putting it all on the table, striking into action. They can see this potential with you and they want to take control in a way that really kind of gets this moving and makes it happen. This is a person who is very much action-based. They don't play games so well. They're too sensitive for that. So, I'm prepared to put the hard work in. I want to nurture this into something that actually comes to life. I really like you. I'm ready to be more serious. I'm ready to take it to the next step. Can we cut other people out of the picture and make it more about you and I? I just kind of want to be a little bit romantic and narrow it down in a way that makes us, feel a little bit more in focus in terms of it being just about you and me. Maybe a romantic dinner or a nice time where it's just the two of us. So that we can take it to the next level. It just kind of make it a little bit more serious, but it doesn't have to be too heavy either. But, this is a very reliable person. When the chips are down, you can really depend on them. They're there. They're there listening. They're there ready to hear what it is that you have to say. It's a very trustworthy person. At the same time, also very good fun to be around. Yeah. The emotional input is very positive, high vibrational. Very carefree on that level of it not being too serious. They know how to pick their moment. They really do. But back over here to the Magician and the Ace of Swords, I kind of feel like this person's getting to a point. It's like, this is becoming really hard work. There's a degree of shock value here because I kind of just feel like this person isn't making any inroads to getting to know you more, to getting to know you better, to kind of getting through the barriers that kind of like you're putting out there in terms of playing it really cool. I think they're getting to a point where they're starting to get worn down by this process, but it'll get to a point very soon where they'll have had enough. It's like, you know what? I'm out of here. This isn't going anywhere. Maybe I just need to take control and cut my losses because, I'm trying to put my best forward, my best foot forward. I see an opportunity here that, is a really lovely connection and I'd like to make it into something that kind of goes next level. But at the end of the day, this person's kind of taking everything off the table and I've got no choices but to look after myself. I'm out of here. And maybe I need to be a bit cold about that. Or maybe it's not even about being cold. Maybe it's just about being decisive. I need to make a decisive, decisive action. They have boundaries. It's like, what? This is too much. I can't do this. This doesn't fit in with how it is that I roll as a person. I'm trying to be really nice to you. I'm trying to connect with you, but all I'm getting is sort of like, the cold shoulder, playing it really cool. And I think that you should be really careful here because this is a really lovely person. They're really prepared to work very hard towards, the next step. To be accountable, to put their best foot forward in a way that really is very responsible and reliable. If you're interested in this person, there's a lot of lovely nurturing qualities here that make for a really lovely experience. But you have to be open to that. And I kind of feel for you where you're at right now. It's like, it's like you're just playing it a little bit too detached, a little bit too cool. I think it's time to ground this situation and to be a little bit more open to what's going on in a way that explores this experience at a more wholehearted level. Nobody's saying that you really need to jump into the deep end, but I think you need to give them a little bit more to work with. So I hope this reading has made some sense. And if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 5. This is your reading and messages from the other person. What have they got to say here today? What do they want you to really know? So let's jump on in and have a look and see what's going on. I want to start over here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Pentacles. You know, it feels like things just like really hit off in a very dynamic way. You know, it's a bit of a whirlwind coupling. I feel like the time has been very intensive. It's like, whoa, getting to know each other really quick, really fast, very deeply. And it feels like, you know, things have just been spinning. You know, I kind of feel like I'm spinning on my feet here. You've just had so much in common with this person, and it's been a very dynamic experience that's hit so many really amazing notes. It feels very soulmate on so many levels, especially with the Two of Pentacles, because it actually does have that dynamic spiritual link. It feels hand in hand, you know, partners in crime. There's so much in common here. And a bit kooky as well. I kind of feel like the two of you are very kooky, a little bit different maybe, whatever that means to any of you. Kooky could be something, you know, just not the norm, you know. Peas of a pod, doing things a little bit differently to everybody else, but the same as each other. And I felt the both of you are maybe into some unusual things that really complemented each other. It's just like, oh wow, you know, like you're into that. Yeah, I'm into that. You know, oh my God, you're into that. It's like how amazing. It's just sort of like, I think it's that excitement of something that's a little bit unpredictable, a little bit new to kind of get your head around. Lots of different grabs on making this just very interesting in terms of coming together in a way that is very common, but at the same time a bit spicy. Yeah, I think this person's been very lost in you. It's like, as soon as they've seen you, it's gone, oh, whoa, you know, like it's kind of a love at first sight. That's what I want to say. It just feels really, I'm just drawn to you. I see you. I want to be with you. I want to know you. Yeah, I think we could actually really hit things off here. At the same time, it's very easygoing. I don't think anybody's in a head about this experience. It's just like, yeah, let's just kind of follow the flow, you know, like it's not premeditated. There's no weirdness there. Nobody has to think about it. It's just kind of, you know, it's just very natural. And I felt here that it's almost like, let's run away and do things our own way, you know, like it's, you know, it's just, let's get off grid or go on some kind of a journey. You know, it's not to say that that's what you're doing, but it's that sense of potential about where you could go, what you could do. It's like, well, we could do things really differently here. And do you know what? For some of you, I would say even, it's that feeling like you could elope, you know? It's like, let's just kind of like, let's go for it. You know, let's just go and do it. Let's be crazy. Let's go and get married in Las Vegas or, you know, if it's not that extreme, if it's not about that kind of commitment, it's certainly about, maybe just let's go for this. Like, you know, lovely person, the person that we're talking about today. And over here with the Magician and the Knight of Cups, and you know, like just very pure in terms of their intention, very socially mobile and very well liked, very friendly, quite honest. You know, like it's not. Again, no weirdness, you know, like it's like, oh, wow, you know, this person's kind of shooting straight from the hip, because I kind of feel like they're a little bit out there in terms of like, you know, working it socially, like very popular person, I would have said. At the same time, fully focused on you. I think more recently, it's just kind of like, you know, it's just been pure intention in terms of wanting to engage with in a very loving way. You know, like it's like you've been a singular focus in this, but saying, I really like you. I just kind of want to, I just want to hang out. Let's go and do stuff. I want to go next level. It's just really this idea of being very smooth, very romantic, courting you in a way that makes you feel like you're the center of attention, actually. It's a singular focus. Let's make it happen. Let's go for it. Again, just there's more dynamic action, but it's kind of like stepped up in a way where this person's really taking the lead, actually, more so than you. I kind of feel like they're the one that's sort of, you know, really trying to initiate next steps, next levels. I think this person, again, is a bit of a wheeler and dealer, and a lot of dynamic action in this person. I kind of feel like this is somebody who's actually a good networker, knows a lot of people, knows how to work the crowd in a really soft, gentle way, very likable. Quite striking maybe in terms of their looks. If it's not looks, it's definitely about their energy. There's something a little bit enigmatic about them. Easy on the eye in terms of energy. Very easy to deal with. Bit of a pleasure, actually. Very respectful. But then he's like, I've got my sights set on you, and I'm not going to let you go. I'm a bit head over heels with you. You're my only focus. And I want it to be all about you, and I really want to make this happen. And I think they've been very forward with their intentions. You know, I think they've actually been really upfront about how it is that they feel about you. The Magician is all about action, striking it into action. Knight of Cups is, you know, a card of love, of becoming mobilized in a way where it's very articulate. This person really knows how they feel. It's like, you know, like, God, I don't have to question this. It just feels right. It has since we first met. It was dynamic then, it's dynamic now. But now I'm really sure. Let's really do this. I kind of really want to, let's push this. So a lot of energy. What I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of energy going on in terms of meeting each other, a burst of action, things kind of, you know, catapult into life in a very dynamic way. Getting to know each other very intensively over maybe a short period of time or a long period of time. However it is, it resonates really. But, you know, arrives at a more clearly defined intention in terms of this person really stepping up, courting you. I kind of like not so far maybe from getting down on a knee even, you know, like it's kind of going in that direction. It's like, you know, you're the one for me. I don't see anybody else. Whoa, so lots going on there. I feel a little bit heady. But things are playing out a little bit differently at the moment, I think. You know, like the Devil and the King of Wands. And, you know, the Four of Pentacles. You know, this person's actually shown a really different side of themselves. And it's a side perhaps that you hadn't predicted. Maybe it's a side of them that has caused some concern for you. Very driven individual. Who's burdened by responsibility in terms of their work. I kind of feel like this is somebody who works very, very hard. Very driven to succeed in a way that is a little bit thirsty. And I think it's sort of shown us a bit of a selfish side to this person in a way that, you know, this is actually a really important priority to them. You know, money is really important. You can see that here with the Four of Pentacles. This person's at a time in their life where they're really trying to, really trying to consolidate their finances, their security, maybe looking to buy property, maybe looking to invest money into some kind of, you know, situation that it gives them a really solid return, really trying to establish their footings in terms of making a mark on the world. Money and power are important. You know, the King of Wands is a very driven card. It wants to get right up the top there in terms of, you know, it's almost a bit corporate on one level, but it could be a lot of different things. You're just really trying to get to the top of the power base, wanting to be in control, feeling very natural in terms of managing project lead, sorts of situations. But, you know, it's coupled with the Devil, and it makes it more than just a bit thirsty, really. It sort of almost becomes a bit more addictive, a little bit more. The trust maybe becomes a little bit questionable. Maybe the ethics of how this person works is questionable. Maybe the place where they're working is questionable. Or maybe the fact that all of a sudden, it's like they just seem to be completely focused on their work. Driven by something that's really hard for you to understand, you know, so it might not be just where they're working, how they're working. It's like kind of like, I don't get this side of you. It's like, there's a side that feels really foreign. And the responsibilities of what they're taking on and what they've immersed themselves have begun to overshadow the connection. And this person's kind of saying, I've got to do this. You know, this is a priority. I can't I can't be with you today. I can't be with you next week. Maybe I can't be with you for the time being. I've got to give my full focus, my full attention to my work. That's where things are right at the moment. It's really important because actually this is really about me. I've got to put myself first. And I think that that's really hard because what I see here is it's been all about you. You've been at the center of their attention, the center of their focus. And the warmth and generosity and, camaraderie, really, the companionship has just been so immensely rewarding for the both of you. It's like all of a sudden they're off doing something completely different that robs you of that experience. It's like this person is sacrificing the relationship by doing other things, taking on other responsibilities, and it kind of feels selfish to me. Yeah, I think maybe you're actually feeling a little bit fearful of that, especially the fact that it's actually about money and their work. It just feels like the priorities kind of feel a bit around the wrong way around. So interesting stuff, because if you come over here to the Lovers and the Nine of Swords, it's like this person's at a really difficult point with you right now. It's like kind of like it's like I've got my priorities set and I can't change them. I can't shake this up. I can't change it up. It's set. It was a difficult choice for me to have to follow through, but at the end of the day, now I'm really worried that I'm going to lose you, that you won't understand why it is that I have to do what it is that I'm doing. And they're projecting the worst. This person's really freaking out. I feel like you're going to meet somebody else, or that you won't understand why it is that I have to do what it is that I'm doing and that I can't give you my full attention at this time. I'm frightened that you'll make different choices that won't keep us together, that I'm going to lose you. I really want to be with you. I miss you. I lie awake at night thinking about you, but I can't change this. And I think what's really difficult about that is that if you come down here to Lover, which is like, and I think it's, for this person, it's both attributes. It's light attribute and shadow attribute. This person has such a clear sincerity of heartfelt intention towards you. They're not a game player. They're the real deal. They put a lot of energy into you and to court you. But the flip side now is that they're becoming really anxious that you're pulling back from them in a way where they're fearful that they'll lose you. It's like far out, I kind of just feel that, I just feel like you're not going to give back. I feel like this is kind of hurtling out of control in a way where I'm just thinking about you all the time, and I want this to kind of be like a reciprocal flow like it was before, and now all of a sudden it just feels one-sided, and I can't stop thinking about you, but it's just, when I think about you, it's just pain. It's a pain because I want this to be right, but I can't go back to how it was just now because I've got these priorities in place and I have to follow through because this is something that I need to do. And it's not just about me, because in the long run, it's actually about establishing everything that will give me and you an underpinning in terms of security and a potential future that really helps us to kickboard into the future. When you met this person, whatever it is that they were doing, it was already on the boil. I was probably on the back burner, or they were successfully managing two things at once, you and this other project or whatever it is that they're actually really focused on at this time. But as the pressure of responsibility has begun to creep up behind them and over on top of them, it's like they've had to make certain sacrifices and reprioritize things in a way that actually put this project, job, or goal to establish themselves right at the forefront. But it does not change how it is that they really feel about you. And where they're at right now, so it's like they're just constantly projecting, thinking that this is the worst thing that's going to happen, that that I'm going to lose you, or worse, that I'm going to continue to love you. Yeah, this person loves you. Like, this person is invested at the heart in a way where there's no going back for them, and now they're freaking out. They're kind of like, free falling off the cliff, thinking this is going to be unrequited love, that it's full investment into you and that you're pulling back and closing down on them in a way where it's not going to flow. And if you come down here to 6 of Pentacles, this person's waiting in the balance. And they're just kind of saying, I need a show of intention from you. Some kind of a clear sign that you feel the same way as me. I kind of feel like you've got the upper hand here, and I just need you to throw me something that actually is of substance, that actually shows me that I can put my mind and my heart at peace here in a way where this is going to come to full fruition, because I'm completely on board with you. And, if you're not on board with me, I just don't know what I'm going to do. It's your turn to roll the dice. How do you want to play this, is what they're saying. And if I come back over here to the Devil and the King of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, I do feel like these cards reflect a lot of where you're at. It's like, I don't know if I can be with somebody who is overshadowed by a job or a role or some kind of, responsibility that becomes so big in their lives that it means that I have to make sacrifices, or that they have to make sacrifices, that we have to make sacrifices, that it becomes some sort of a burden just because of the money, just because of their professional development, just because of their goals, whatever it is. Yeah. It's like, that's not how I want to be. It's not how I want to roll. And maybe the best thing for me to do is actually to kind of protect myself and, take a step back and not get caught up in this, because, maybe it's not what I want. Maybe I could get hurt. Maybe it's a lot of different things. I think you need to be careful here, because at the end of the day, this person is the real deal. And what you found, what you experienced right at the beginning, it was the real deal. It is the real deal. I think you need to cut this person some slack, in all honesty. I think you need to give them something to work with. Cut them a little bit of leeway. Be a little bit more flexible. Show them a sign that you're in there, if that's how you really feel. Connections like this don't come around too often. Maybe once in a lifetime, when you get a soul connection like this. Maybe this is coming up for you in a way that actually is asking you to dig deep and really listen at a heart level as to who this person is to you, and to look constructively forward in a way that actually finds resolution here. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care.